Welcome back to the channel and second video, phase 2 of the 200 build. So today we'll touch on the electrical side. Not all done yet, but I would say maybe 50-60% done on the electrical setup. The big part being that the drawers are not in yet and a lot of the electrical stuff is sort of in there, but we'll go through what has been done and we'll touch on some of the stuff that I've got here right now that will be going into the drawers in the back. So kind of excited about that because the system, that one right down there, is really cool, different as well, which I kind of like, and yeah, can't wait to get that in and try that out. So that'll be today's video. On another note, GoPro, new GoPro, Hero 8, and you can see it there. It has this media mod that sort of comes around the camera. It's got this inbuilt microphone and this really cool light. It's got one more provision up here for you can get this reversible screen, which is on pre-order, so I'll definitely be getting that because that's going to help me figure out what it's like or what people might see, and it'll give me an idea if I need to redo things a million times or if I'm gonna get away with it. So yep, it's pretty cool. Apologies as well, because I had this idea that I would be able to do the next video, so this one, out somewhere, maybe even part of a camping trip, so sort of record whilst I'm at camp, or as a minimum get out somewhere bush to do it. Unfortunately, with the weather, which right now it's totally fine. I might even be able to get the drone up, but yeah, right now the weather's okay, but it has been crap. And me as well, I also leave everything to the last minute. So the next video, I'm gonna say I guarantee I will be out somewhere. I won't be in the garage. Anyway, let's have a look at the front first. We'll pop the bonnet and we'll check out what is under there. So straight away, yeah, nothing stands out, but if we have a peek here, one battery and another battery. So passenger side still has the factory sort of crank inside, and normally I think in these things the driver's side ends up being the auxiliary or the secondary. For me in this one, and yeah, I have got twin crankings, so I don't require to have a deep cycle battery under the bonnet. I'm going to have a dedicated battery in the rear, which is going to run all of our stuff at the back. So I decided that I would give the twin crankings a go, and that's nothing, that's just because we got a winch and we got the compressor in the rear, which is something I'll show you, but yeah, I don't need a deep cycle in here, so we're just going to run twin crankings to help with battery power for, I guess, winching and compressor. I think you know, they draw a fair bit, even though the car will be running. They do draw mass amounts, and if for whatever reason you don't drive much after you've ran the compressor, or not so much that, probably the winch, you're winching a lot, or even if you are running the compressor up and down a lot, jumping on and off beaches and whatever else, and then you pull up back at camp and there's no sun and you can't charge batteries and you don't want to run the car. I don't know, I just had this idea that I would run two cranking batteries that gives us that peace of mind, because I don't need a deep cycle in the front. What it is controlled by though is down here. We've got this it's a Red Arc smart solenoid, so it's got like an auto function that if the, I don't know what the numbers are, but if the battery voltage on the main drops below a certain amount, that will cut off the batteries to save this battery in the need that I need to use it to start the car. If I say leave my lights on or leave the radio on or something like that. I have a manual switch on the inside which I'll show you, and that is to allow me to connect them up if it isn't already done so via the auto side of it. Whilst I want to winch, I'll run the compressor, so I can click it in, you know, let it do its thing, and then, you know, unclick it and then let the auto feature take over again. But we'll see how that works out. This was a recommendation when after I spoke to my Sparky. I got with Riley and I sort of said, what can we do here? He said try this, so that is what we're going to do, and if I need to change it, I'll figure something else out. But this allows me to utilize these both batteries as effectively one, or at least have the safety side of it as well. So twin cranking batteries with the manual switch off a smart solenoid. So let's check out comms next. And comms, so this is a GME. I got a twin pack of the aerials. This is the 2.1 dB antenna, and I do have the 6.6 dB. So I did have the big one on, but I found even with the standard tires in that larger aerial that I can't get into any undercover anything, any car parks, anything. So I put the smaller one on for now. Actually, I'll probably leave it on. The large one I think will be real handy in, you know, if you're a long way away in a straight line. But this thing will be more than adequate enough for, you know, I'm not trying to talk to people a massive amount away, so this is just for people in the convoy, or, you know, people on the beach if a little bit behind us or ahead of us, whatever. So I'll just probably leave the little one on. Lights. Lights. We are with Great Whites. So I hadn't even thought about Great Whites. I was gonna be heading the steady route. My Sparky, Riley, actually said, try these, what do you think? And so I let him sort of recommend them. Why? He's run them on his car. He says they're brilliant lights, and up till now used them a couple of times on the freeways at night, and you know, just shooting up down the drive, and bright as. Now for me, a light on the front, I'm not necessarily chasing mad distance. I really, personally, I don't need to see kilometers in front of me. If I can see 200-300 meters with a really good spread and everything's lit up, that is more beneficial for me. People will argue, and that's fair enough. Everyone's got their own sort of ideas on how they run or want their lights, and that's fine. Me, 200-300 meters ahead, spread. That is what I want. I want to be able to see everything, especially four-wheel driving. If we're going slow on a track or whatever, I don't need to see a kilometre ahead of me. A couple hundred meters is fine for me. So I'll test them out, obviously, and you know, maybe I'll start doing some reviews on some of the gear that we've put on here. A lot of it, obviously, I have ran before, and it's the reason why I'm putting it in. But some of it, I am going off of recommendations of gear that people have used. So the lights, I'll definitely I'll do a review on, because I haven't obviously had them. I've always had Light Force stuff. So that's the box there, and it's upside down, but that's some of the features. I don't really look at the lumens and the effect of lumens and luxes and whatever. There's a recommendation, but all the stuff's there. Bloody bright. That's all I know. Inside, not much has changed actually. Still pretty clean. Just a few little things that I've put in. We'll start with the radio first. So the handheld is going to live in the glove box at all times. And like I was saying, XRS, All the controls are on there. The handheld between the XRS, the whatever the big one is, maybe a 370 or whatever, and the 330 is exactly the same. That hasn't changed. There are a few things on the real fancy duper one functions that my one doesn't have, but I just need to be able to talk to people, scan, and have the controls on the handheld. So it's got Bluetooth still. It has an app that you've got, and you can set up all this other stuff, but I'm not going to need that. I'm literally just going to need to select the channel and speak to people. So yep, pretty damn cool. And I've came from a Uniden standard 80 channel, nothing on the handpiece, so that's going to make a huge difference. Where it slits in on the dash is right here, is right there. So RJ45, I'll plug it in there, and I'll get the clip, but the plan is to stick it on here, and I'll just have the cable running down here, resting on that wall there, and I'll only put it in when I need it. So that's the magnetic microphone mount. So it comes with the same body, but this section in there is actually magnetic. Sticks on the back end. You change the connector on the back of the handpiece to be a magnetic one that then fits into the new holder. So I'll have that down here, sticky on there. I'll clean it up, sticky it on there, and then I actually can be driving and I know where it needs to go, and I don't need to be looking, and it'll find its own way with the magnets, which is pretty cool, and that'll help out. Don't need to take my eyes off the road. For lights, LEDs, I'm going to change this panel. You actually get Light Force do, and I'm pretty sure Crazy Rick's, and there's a couple other mobs there that they do a switch panel change out, so it retains all the factory ones that are there, but it gets rid of this. I've actually no idea what this is. You can't. I actually have no idea what that is. It's in the wife's Prado as well, but it's in a better location there. I don't actually know what that's for, but takes that out. You get an extra, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 switches along the bottom there. So I'll get that because there are a few more things that I still need to run. And down the other side, so right in here, that is my manual battery. So I push this, you can maybe or maybe not hear that. So that's my manual override. Also, what we had installed is the Blackview dash cams. So I got the front and rear one. You don't even know it's there. The rear one's not in yet. Riley was saying that the cabling that is supplied is too short, and you got to get some sort of fill-in piece or adapter or whatever. So that's all going to get done when he's back up next time. I did just run this roughly, so the cable just runs down into the OBD2 port there. That was just so I can sort of start. I only put this in yesterday, so I haven't even used it yet in this car, but just so because I pretty much knew all of the temps and stuff that the 76 used to run on. So I'll run that, and I'll get an idea of how this car runs, sort of how it is before the roof rack goes on and the weight goes in the rear, etc. But just to start getting an idea. I think I've actually got to set up the scan gauge to be able to read the EGTs and the transmission temp, which I'll figure that out. And also, I just seen this morning that PDP put on their website a housing that sits on top of here, but it sort of, you slip the scan gauge into it. It looks all really nice and factory, and then you can run the wires down the back of the steering column or whatever into the port, and it just looks like it's supposed to be there. So I think I'll buy that for that. And then I did just put my phone holder in the HEMA up there for now, so that will change because I actually want it clean. I think the HEMA, I'm pretty sure I can get something that will either replace this or come in the way of that, but if it's replacement, that's alright, because by the time I get the solar screens for this, I'm not going to be able to see at the back anyway. So whether I can, yeah, I don't know, I'll have to figure that out, but I want that off the dash, and then maybe the phone holder, I don't know, tuck it in down the bottom here so it's out the way a bit more. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna have to sell it. Got 1098 Ks on it. Gonna have to go. Oh, what's behind here? Hey, look at that. So there is the ARB twin compressor, and if I just flip that around, it does have the tank tucked in the back there. That is such a cool addition. There are a few people and a few places that have brackets and stuff now where that slips into the back. You remove behind the wing, and I'm actually not really sure what it's there for, but it's almost like just a fill-in panel. The tank, the bracket for the compressor, all goes in there, all the cabling's in there, and then you can still put that back section on. I think that's going to be that's just a cool use of, you know, you don't even know it's there. And when we've got the drawers in here, so there'll be a wing down that side, because that driver's side is where the battery is going to be mounted. There'll be a wing there. I'll bring this connector, so for the air hose and the switch, onto the wing, which will be here with the switch for the pump and the water outlet. And there'll be a few more switches, but yeah, I'll put that on the wing, and the compressor itself will stay hidden in behind that panel, and it'll be sweet. So well happy with that. It's came up real neat. Riley's done a good job. And whilst I'm talking of Riley, jump on his page. That's his name, RD Auto Electrics. Look at him on Instagram, look at him on Facebook. Quality work. He comes to the house, and he will, if you can think it and there's a way of doing it, he'll find it and he'll do it. So Riley, mate, loving it so far, and I can't wait until he's back up, because the next thing we're going to be looking at is this back section. It's going to have drawers. It's going to look a lot different from this in about 5 weeks time. So anyway, that's that. Let's have a look at some of the stuff that's gone in the drawers. Look at this. Check this out. Inner drive, the Adventurer pack. So what can I say about this thing? This thing, when I first seen it, hey, jump up. When I first seen this thing, it was on Danny Mond's a girl over east that has this thing, and it's her canopy setup, and this was originally made for, I think it is made for, canopy setups. But when I seen it, I thought, wow, that's cool as. Inner drive or Red Arc was the stuff that was going to be coming in the car. The Red Vision was the other option. But then, good old Jimmy from Grab Me Gear, when we did his video for my stuff in the 76, and he opened his back and he showed me his drawers, it gave me an idea. And the way that he sort of had his drawers got me thinking about this thing. Then I started looking into it, spoke to Riley, and well, it's here. All your fuses and some built-in switches, the Cymarine screen, USBs, and the inverter, 2000 watt. That's going to be sick. DC, and the 240 and all change. And then the battery, which is also inner drive. The BTEC lithium. It is a 200 amp battery, which is gonna be incredible. That's more battery power than we'll ever be able to use. These things are not, you know, a new product. The Travel Buddies, the Marine. I've again wanted one in the 76. Was always going to be coming into the 200. That is going to make traveling on the road and heating up leftovers and and whatever else so much easier. So we'll get that on top of the drawers. I'm going to buy there's a company, I can't remember it from the top of my head, that do the sort of larger oven trays, and allows you to do roasts and whatever else in here. So we'll definitely look at getting that. But that's going to be a really cool thing inside the car. Now the other thing that we don't have here that will be in the drawers, and you know, if people watch this and think it's over the top, that's fair enough. But the fact that we're going to run an inverter, I am a huge coffee advocate. I love good coffee. Now, I'm not saying you can't get good coffee on the road and make it with the AeroPresses and all the other stuff, and failing that, just instant coffee. Totally get it. But we are going to run a coffee machine in this. Just a pod machine. That's just going to make the fact that we have the space to run it, we can. It's not going to be for every coffee that we ever have. We're still going to run how we have done it in the past. Just having the inverter, it gives us the option to be able to, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I don't need to fluff around on a cold morning. I can literally turn the machine on, get a coffee quick, real quick. It will make the quick stops a bit easier. We don't have to go in and pull out everything and heat up water, etc, etc. So yes, totally get it. Coffee machines, well extravagant. I would argue with anyone that says anything about, you see it all the time. People going on about what you should and shouldn't have camping. At the end of the day, if you're camping and you're out and it's comfier for you, then that's the main thing. So that is pretty much what we want to do for the phase 2 side. Electricals. So far, what's to come? Next time off, so I head back for 3 weeks. The next time off we have a big one, so the majority of the stuff will be in. We've got tires and rims, the roof rack, the drawers with all the stuff inside the drawers, and we have an exhaust going on as well. So that will be a big one. But next time off, once all the stuff goes in, or as the stuff's going in, we will get the car out, we'll get the trailer out, we'll test everything out, and I'll try and make a couple of videos on just our trips and how we camp and how we set up. And I can set the trailer up, set the car up, and yeah, just have our setup, which will be kind of cool because it'll be the first time I've done that, and it'll be with the family or the wife, probably the dog. That's the plan for next time back in the next video, or the next couple of videos. We'll also have a video with Jimmy from Grab Me Gear, and that'll be packing the car with nothing, no drawers, repacking the car with the drawers and some new gear to make fit in the drawers, and hopefully we can get a one-nighter with Jimmy to be able to do that, so I'm not stuck in the shed. Because it would have been nice to get the car out, but unfortunately I'm restricted to that. And I also have a bad tendency of leaving everything to the last minute, so I'm not going to do that next time. But hopefully that gives you a sort of little bit of an insight that we are still plugging away with stuff. It just doesn't happen really quickly. COVID obviously has put some delays in stuff, but everyone's in that same situation. We'll just keep plugging away. Again, thank you for watching. If you've not, watch it, subscribe. Just follow along. Sort of enjoying it a bit more now, a bit more comfortable looking at the camera. As always, chuck down some comments, throw in some questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.